How DHCP works. We all know that for a device to communicate within a network, it must have an IP address. An IP address can be configured on a device either statically or dynamically. Static IP addressing is when you manually configure an IP address on a device. Dynamic IP addressing is when it is automatically done. So how can we assign IP address dynamically? That is through DHCP. In this video, I will show you what DHCP is, its importance, and how it works. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. DHCP is used to automatically assign an IP address to a device such as PC, laptop, smartphone, and others. Imagine configuring IP addresses on two computers. It's easy, right? But if you put IP addresses on 200 computers, your task will become challenging. And take note, it's not only the IP addresses that will be entered into the PC, but also the subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS address. In short, it will be a hard task to do if it is not done with DHCP. DHCP will do all this for you. It will automatically configure each of the device's IP addresses, subnet mask, default gateway, and DNS addresses. With the help of DHCP, you can be sure that there will be no IP address conflicts. What happens behind the scenes when using DHCP? DHCP is running in the concept of a server-client environment. The DHCP server will give or assign IP addresses, while the DHCP client will receive them. The DHCP server can be a computer server, a router, or a firewall. And the DHCP client can be a PC, a laptop, smartphone, and many others. When a PC, for example, a DHCP client, is installed on a network for the first time, it doesn't have an IP address yet. It cannot right away communicate with other devices on the network. In the beginning, it will issue a broadcast to find a DHCP server that can provide it with an IP address. This broadcast is called DHCP Discover. The DHCP Discover will be received only by the DHCP servers, and those that are non-DHCP servers will simply disregard those. When the DHCP server receives DHCP Discover, it will issue DHCP Offer going to the PC, offering it an IP address. As for the PC, if it approves the server's offer of an IP address to it, it will issue again in a form of a broadcast requesting the offered IP address. This is called DHCP request. When the DHCP server receives the DHCP request, it will send a DHCP ACK or acknowledgement to the PC to provide its requested IP address. At this point, your PC is on the network and ready to communicate with other devices. DHCP configuration is different from one vendor to another, but the concept is the same. And since I'm teaching CCNA, I'll show you in the next video how to configure DHCP server using a router. And if this was helpful to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.